Well, hello everybody. It's Jennifer Cramer Lewis again with the Audacious Ask. So if you are one of those kind of people that's waiting for permission to ask for more in your life, well, here I am. I'm going to give you permission to ask for more in your life. And it's not going to be just, how do I make this bad thing go away? Or how do I get along with these people who are truly awful? We're just going to start asking for way more to show up and a life and living that works for you no matter how old you are. Jump on, John. What's your audacious ask?
Good morning, Jennifer. How are you going?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Yeah, really well, thank you. My audacious ask for today is, what would it take to have the life we desire?
Nice.
We're looking at buying a base near where I work, because I travel to work every day, and we keep looking at things that are outside our financial wherewithal at the moment, and that's what we really desire. And then we keep thinking, well, perhaps we'll just buy a base. What would it be for us to have what we desire rather than what we can afford?
Nice. Okay, so we're going to talk about heavy and light. And so what's light is something that lights you up, that's exciting, that's a pleasure to own and have, that you're like, oh my God, I live here.
Yeah.
This is light.
Yes. It is.
Every morning I'm like, oh my God, I am a queen. Look at this house. So I'm going to tell you exactly what I did to actualize this. What I did was, Diane, I'm going to mute you. What I did was I wrote a list with Tom, that's my husband, of everything that lights me up about having a home. And I had no point of view. I was just like, okay, we're going to write an ultimate fantasy list. And so my ultimate fantasy list for me included land.
Yes.
Like a little acreage or even a big acreage. I had no point of view about how it was going to show up. It included ultimate privacy, like can't see the neighbors, could walk around naked for weeks.
As you desire.
And what did I ask for? A place where I could film, that was beautiful. A private office area, so that I could just go out there and lock the door and create to my heart's content. And then also like a studio space for people to come and have sessions or for me to have classes. Tom asked for a chef's kitchen. He asked for a fireplace. He asked for, what else did he ask for? He asked for vaulted ceilings and hardwood floors. So like write an ultimate fantasy list of everything that you would love to have show up. And then what I'm going to invite you to do is ask the list, like, even if you wrote 50 things on that list, and include everybody who's going to live in the house with you can put stuff on the list.
Yes.
And then what you can do is you can go through and you can say, okay, truth, is this mine?
Yes.
And if it is, you can say, oh, well, what percentage of this is mine? Because sometimes we ask for stuff for other people.
Yeah.
And so you can always actualize the stuff that's for you.
Right.
Truth?
Truth.
Okay, so anything that doesn't allow you to be, know, perceive, and receive that, will you destroy and uncreate it?
I will. Yeah,
awesome. Good and bad, right and wrong, POD and POC, all nine, boy shirts and beyond. So go through the list and say, is this mine, someone else's, or something else's? And if it's not yours, or you're anybody who's going to live in the house, then cross it out. And then go through again, and you can ask it, just for example, say you write vaulted ceilings down. Okay. you can say, okay, so what points of view do I have about actualizing a house with vaulted ceilings for me? And then no right answer. And then you can say, I destroy and uncreate all that is. And then say the clearing statement, good and bad, right and wrong, pod and pock, all 9 boys, shorts and beyonds. And just be present. Like, we had no point of view about where we were going to move. We had an area in Canada where I live that made sense. So just for example, you want to move close to work. So how close to work? Like within a 10-minute drive, 20-minute drive?
Probably 10 minutes.
10-minute drive. Okay. So that's a circumference, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, and then some other things that we did ask for that you might want to ask for is a property that has a revenue stream or the ability to have a revenue stream. So the house that we bought we have a B&B now. And that's easy for us. We just, you know, the people get up, we serve breakfast, and then they go off. And there's, you know, really nothing for me to do. Like I pop downstairs and, you know, make sure there's nice hot water, and I make cookies. That's all I have to do. And it's fun for me. The people who come are like great. And we've asked for cool and fun people to show up for us. And so of course they've shown up. The other thing that I would ask for is for the property to show itself to you at an amazing buy. So how I worded it for myself was, what would it be like to buy a property that will accumulate in value by me buying it? Okay. And I ask for that for a lot of things, like everything that I actually open my wallet for. I'm like, okay, well, what, you know, I mean, not groceries or whatever, but if it's an investment, like a vehicle or jewelry or real estate, or, you know, I mean, whatever it turns you on to invest in. You know, I even dabble with Tom's investments. Like sometimes it's really obvious that he needs to buy something. And I say, you know, I'm getting a real hit on you buying this. And it was so funny. He ended up buying into Tata Motors, which they own, what do they own? They own Land Rover and Jaguar and like a whole bunch of different kinds of things. And he bought into it when it was, he bought into it, and it actually went like this. It went down and then it went way up. And so during this part, I wasn't all that popular. And then it went way up, and he sold it. Actually, he didn't destroy and uncreate his points of view about his crazy wife telling him what to buy. So anyways, whatever, I don't dabble. Sometimes he wants to play access and sometimes not. But so those are the things. Make a super fantasy list, and then pod and pocket everything that doesn't allow you to receive what's on the super fantasy list. And then also ask for it to be worth more because you bought it, and to reveal itself. And then also ask who or what can assist me to actualize this. And so it'll be yourself and Sally, yes? And who else?
She is.
Yeah, so who else going to live in the house? The 3 of you?
And our son, potentially at some stage in the future.
Okay.
And
So
Laura.
so you could just phone him and say, hey, we're going to buy a place. Let's pretend we won the lottery. What would you love our place to have? And
that's what we do. You know, like, it's nice to think like
we do think like that.
We think like that, but then we tend to stop ourselves. I guess that's
So whose reality are you buying into when you stop yourself from thinking like that?
That's our conservative upbringing, I guess. It's
right? It's like your parents, right? It's like the Depression era people.
You never buy anything you can't afford.
Well, who says you can't afford it?
Well, that's true.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's you who says you can afford it or can't afford it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what I've noticed is that the things that light me up and make me excited are always in addition to my life. And the things that I bought because, well, here's a cute example. So I just bought an amazing new car for myself that I love, absolutely love.
Yeah.
And, but when we were looking for cars, like Tom really had a point of view. Like he loves Audis. He's got an A4 convertible and it's beautiful. Every time I drive it, I almost get a speeding ticket because it's so fun to drive.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And so he really wanted me to get this Audi Q5, which is like their SUV. Yeah, luxury SUV. And we found a beautiful one. And then I tapped into it and then I found a beautiful one, which was the Land Rover that I ended up getting. And it was so neat. You know, I mean, as much as I facilitate people, I'm still facilitating myself. And so finally I went to Tom and I'm like, babe, if we buy the Q5, it will be us buying a car for me that we're actually really buying for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when you think about buying a house, who are you really buying it for?
Yeah.
And when you tap into other people's realities about what you can afford and what you can't afford, who are you really buying it for? Okay, and everything that is, will you destroy and uncreate it?
Yes, absolutely.
Nice. Good and bad, right and wrong, POD and POC, all 9 boys, shorts, and beyonds. And what would it be like for this fantasy, beautiful dream home to reveal itself to you at a price that's like a no-brainer? And anything that doesn't allow that to happen, will you destroy and uncreate it?
Yes.
Awesome. Good and bad, right and wrong, POD and POC, all 9 boys, shorts, and beyonds. I love it. So when you play around with real estate, what I would love for you to do is for everybody who's going to live in the house to play around with real estate. So everybody, I don't know, in Australia, do you have like multiple listing where they can just mess around and look at houses on the internet?
Yeah.
Okay, so everybody in the house, you got to have a team meeting and everybody in the house look, because our realtor never found this house. Tom did.
Yeah.
And so I'm like the mistress of manifestation. Like I'm the one who's supposed to make this shit happen. And it was Tom that found the house.
Yeah.
So are you willing to be open to any of the members of your family who are going to get to enjoy this house to find your next house?
Yes.
Awesome.
Definitely.
Good and bad, right and wrong, POD and POC, all 9 boys, shorts, and beyonds. And everywhere you've made yourself cool, the sole breadwinner. Will you destroy and uncreate that too?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
That one's
bad, right, wrong, POD and POC, all 9 boys, shorts, and beyonds. Yeah, because if the house can be a breadwinner, would you allow the house to be a breadwinner?
Yes.
Okay, good and bad, right and wrong, POD and POC, all 9 boys, shorts, and beyonds. Yeah, because it never shows up. I mean, this is one of the rules of consciousness. It never shows up the way that you want it to, or you think, oh, well, if I designed it like this, then this is exactly what I would pick. Like when we were looking at houses, I thought we were looking for a place with a 2-bedroom basement suite.
Yeah.
And this house doesn't have a basement suite. It's got 2 bedrooms downstairs that we're using for the Airbnb. And it's actually got 2 bedrooms upstairs that we're going to be using for the Airbnb as well. And this main floor just has our master bedroom. So it's extremely private. So everywhere you've already figured out in your head what the house will look like, where the house will be, how you'll move in, when you'll move in, all of that. Everywhere you've predetermined that, will you destroy and uncreate all of that?
Yes.
Okay, good and bad, right and wrong, POD and POC, all 9 boys, shorts, and beyonds. Oh my God, I'm so excited for you. So cool. Yeah, the house that we bought,
Yeah.
in 2015, it was listed for over 1.1 million.
Yeah.
And we got it for under 900,000. There was like a tiny
Wow.
little dip in the market, and we bought right there.
Yeah.
And the house that we sold, there was no reason for us to get the amount of money that we got for it, other than I staged the crap out of it. It was beautiful. My realtor was like, "Oh my God."
What have you done?
And you know, we did like when you do list your house. I was in real estate for so long. I just basically told the realtor exactly how I wanted it. Like when you list your house, you list it on like a Monday, and you don't let anybody into it until the first open house. And we had 140 sets of people through, and they made an offer the same day.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So these access tools don't work for real estate. So definitely don't try them.
Okay. No, obviously not.
Yeah. So, and you know, you're definitely not a genius with real estate. So definitely don't tap into any of your real estate genius tech, you know, capacity, you know, because it's not going to work for you.
No, obviously not.
Yeah. Oh, I'm excited for you. That'll be amazing. And, you know, there's really nothing like having a new home to change everything in your life. It's like you get to leave all the crap behind, you know?
Yeah. That's the best bit.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Fresh start. Thank you so much. That was really fun to play with you, John. Thank you.
Thank you. Sally's here.
Mwah, mwah, mwah.
And she was just asking about the link from last week. Is that up?
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Should be.
Just tell her I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If it's not, it's just because I forgot to give it to my assistant.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys. Okay, you guys. Well, that was the Audacious Ask. And we go live every week on Monday that I'm available. And if I'm not traveling, or if it's not a holiday in Canada where I live, and you're welcome to join us for live facilitation. If I can fit as many people as I can fit in for facilitation, I will. And we're learning to ask more audaciously, you know, instead of just, you know, make and do. What would it be like if we could ask for way more than we ever thought possible? And that's the Audacious Ask. And you can join us at bit.ly/audaciously with a capital A. And we'll see you next week. Bye, guys. Ciao.